Hi, this is Kevin, and today we're going to go over the Nautilus system. And we have a reflection by Grand Design model, but I'm sure they use these Nautilus systems in all sorts of RVs. So we're going to explain the whole thing to you and how it works. Okay, so this is known as a Nautilus P1 system. We just call it Nautilus system, but we're going to explain everything there to you, so you know how to use it. It's very easy, although it looks like it's comprehensive. It's actually pretty easy. First of all, this is your freshwater intake valve right here. Okay, this is going to hook this up to your garden hose. Pop off this cap right there. Hook your garden hose right up there to your city water, or your campground water, or whatever. That's where your clean water is going to come in right there. All right. And then once it gets in there, you're going to set up your settings depending on what you're doing. Okay. Let's first talk about city water. Okay. This is your city water diagram for your valves. Your valves are all color coded. And if you're running off campground water, city water, water at your house or whatever, this is what you're going to hook up. Okay. And it tells you right there. Okay. Your white lever goes that way. See, these levers can turn. Okay, so you want to turn it how it shows it. Your blue, your black, your red, your green. Now you're set up to take in city water. Okay, so this will enable all of your faucets to work inside your camper, your shower, your toilet, everything. These blue hoses right here for outside wash down, basically everything. That's the position that it's going to be in for your city water. Now I hooked this up to my house here. I would recommend getting one of these pressure gauges because the campground may have high water pressure. You should only be running about 45 pounds in your camper. Right now this is on like 44 or something. But I would get this gauge. The gauge is just this part. It's like $25 on Amazon. Okay, that way, and there's a little screw right here on top. There's a little place to put your flat screwdriver, and you can turn that up or down and set the pressure wherever you want it. So if it's up to 60 or 70, you want to back it down to about where I have it right now. And so I would get this. And then we also got this little filter here. This is optional as well. The gauge is optional, the filter is optional. You could just hook the hose up, but I would get this pressure gauge and I get these filters. I think they're like 10 bucks or something, but screw the filter on. It just gives you a little bit more filtration on your water. And then this hose goes right to your trailer into your city water connection. And here's your gauge without the filter. And here's how it's going to look with the filter. And here's what it says, RV water filter. It's just going to bring your microns down to a level that's better than average city water. And it has a flow which goes that way. So you're going to hook this thing up with a flow going like that. Okay, so then your garden hose hooks up there, and like I said, that's going to give you all the water inside your camper. Now, there's a pump up here. You don't need to use this because you're running on city water. So this pump only gets used if you're running off your actual tank, called dry camping. So now we'll discuss that. Here's your dry camping. That means you're going to bring your water with you in your tank. Okay, so you're going to put your valves like this, like it shows you for your dry camping. And you got about, I think you got like 65 to 85 gallons of water in your tank or whatever. So it does give you a little bit. And your tank's mounted inside your RV. And when you're dry camping, you'll turn on that pump like that. There's also a pump switch on this particular RV. There's a pump switch on the inside too, and you can use either one for on or off. But you leave that on, and then when the demand kicks in, like you turn on your faucet, that pump's going to kick on, and that's how you're going to get your water. And that's called dry camping. Okay, now in order to dry camp, you got to fill your tank, and the way you fill your tank is right here, power fill to tank. Okay, you just turn your valves the way it says and hook up your hose. Your hose is already hooked up probably, but hook up your hose, and you're going to power fill the tank. That's how you're going to put that 85 gallons of fresh water, city water, in your tank so you can dry camp. Because once this is full, now you can dry camp, and you have that water in there until you use it up. You want to use it sparingly, because when it's out, you probably don't have any more where you're at. So you just want to use it sparingly. Quick shower and quick dishes, or quick rinse off, whatever. Okay, now we're going to talk about sanitize. You want to sanitize this tank every so often according to your owner's manual. This is how you're sanitizing your water tank. And what you do there is put your valves like it shows you, okay, like that. All right, and you're actually going to siphon a bleach water mixture into your tank, and you're going to put that in there for a little while and then drain it out and do it again, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So the way you siphon this up, you get a 5-gallon bucket or a garbage can or something that'll hold water. It's about a 1/4 cup to a gallon. So if I put 4 gallons in this, I'm putting in a cup of bleach, and then we're ready to siphon up. And all you do is turn on your pump here, and that's just going to siphon that right on up into your tank. And you'll sit here and watch it go down. It don't take but 2 or 3 minutes. You'll watch that get sucked right on down, and when that's empty, then you got the product in the tank. Then you'll take your siphon hose off. This is just a little siphon hose I made out of a garden hose, by the way. You'll take this off, hook up your city water hose, and you'll fill up that tank all the way till you get your 85 gallons in there. Okay, and then here's your overflow tube. When you get that 85 gallons in there, it's going to start shooting out this overflow, and that's how you're going to know that that tank is full. All right, there's gauges in your camper, if they work, to show you when that tank is full, or you can wait till it comes out the overflow, but you don't want to overfill that tank. So either keep an eye on your gauge or watch that overflow. When it starts spitting out, you shut it off. Okay, when that happens, when that tank's full, now you're going to let that solution sit in there. I think it's 3 or 4 hours. Check your owner's manual. But you're going to let it sit in there, the bleach solution, and then you're going to drain it out. Okay, now here's your main drain for your tank. There you go. That's how you pull it, and that's how you drain it. I always leave just a little bit in there anyway, but that's the gist of it. You're going to drain that tank all the way out till it stops. And then it goes dry, then you're going to close your valve. Okay, once you drain it, you're going to fill it up with fresh water again. You don't need to use the bleach solution anymore. Just hook up your standard hose, fill up that tank all the way, and then drain it out all the way. Okay, and once you do that, you're all sanitized. But refer to your own owner's manual in your particular camper just to make sure I got everything down to perfect measurements. Okay, so that's how you sanitize. And the last one is winterize. So winterize, you're going to put it in this position. And let's see, winterize. This goes up, goes down. Okay, so and this goes up like that. Okay, that's going to be your winterized position. Now, I live in South Florida. It never gets super cold down here, so I've never winterized. So I'll let a different video tell you about that. Just refer to your owner's manual for winterize, because I'm not going to try to teach you something that I've never used. But this is the position that it's going to be in for your winterize. Okay, and then another thing is, this is your black water tank flush. You should have a couple different hoses, and I'm going to show you. So you should have a couple different color hoses. This one we use for fresh water, hooking up, clean water. This one we use for black flush. So try to keep yourself 2 different hoses and 2 different colors so you don't get them mixed up. But and I'm going to show you how to flush that black tank. Okay, so you're going to hook your black flush hose up to here. Okay, you put your male end in there and you just screw it on there, and then you're going to go turn on your city water at the other end, and it's going to start filling up your black tank. And then I would let that go ahead and run for a couple minutes just to get some water in it. And then this is after you've drained your black tank, by the way. Now you're going to flush it. But all you do is hook your black hose up to there. And then once it's filled up, just a couple minutes further, you're going to pull this black tank lever. Okay, so you're going to hook up your drain hose right here. And then your other end of your drain hose is going down to your sewer. site, wherever that is on your campground. And you're going to pull that lever like we just showed you, and that's going to come right down this tube. It's going to go into the sewer. And then when that water's running and hooked up to your inlet over here on your black flush, it's going to start flushing your tank. Okay, so just to show you how that hose hooks up, it's no big deal. The other end will go to your city water, and it's just putting fresh water in here. It's running through your black tank, and you're opening your valves on both ends and hooking up your hose, and that fresh water is going to clean out anything in your tank and right down into the sewer. And that's how you're going to flush that black tank. First, you want to empty it at the campground, at the sewer station, and then after you empty it, they usually have a hose hanging right there, actually. And if you're down at the dump station, they'll have a hose hanging, and you can just hook up that hose right to here, and that's already hooked to city water. So if you're at a campsite, you'll have to hook up this, but if you're at the dump station, they'll already have one there for you. And on this, you also have this blue hose here that hooks right up. You have hot and cold water. And so if you want to rinse your feet or rinse off your grill or whatever, you can operate it right from there with this hose. Okay, so that's all your water features and dials. You also have your inlet here for your coax. Okay, we just hooked all these to a splitter like this, so they're all hooked up. But this is your coax in if you're going to have cable at your campground, or if you have direct TV and a satellite for that, you can hook all that up right here too. And they give you a little 110 volt outlet GFI to plug in anything that you might need. All right, so that's your black drain. It says black drain, and you have your gray drain right here. Okay, this particular drain here is for your shower in your master bedroom sink or your bathroom sink. And when you want to drain your gray tanks, you're going to go like this. I'll just pull that out, and it's going to come down that same tube, and you're going to hook up your sewer hoses and everything to this dump station and pull that valve. And that's how you're going to drain your gray tank. And this is got two gray tanks on this particular model. Your other gray tank is back here, and it drains all of your kitchen sink water. Okay, you're going to pull that out, and it's also going down that black pipe to the left there and out. Okay, so this has two gray tanks. You may have one, and you may have two, depending on your model. This model is a Grand Design 31MB. It's a 36-foot long fifth wheel trailer. And always read the owner's manual and read these warnings. Here's one, here's two, here's three, and here's four. Always make sure you refer to your owner's manual and do things by the book. And that way you'll be safe and you won't damage your system and you won't void your warranty. So there you have it. That's your Nautilus system and how it works. The more you use it, it's going to just become like clockwork, really easy. We are going to have a lot more videos coming out on how-to on everything on this fifth wheel. So if you want to subscribe and hit the like button if you want. But we're going to have videos coming out on every single system on this trailer to try to help people.